Hello and welcome to the Cipherracket. I am your host. This is episode number 5. Today's topic will be about the insanity we call normal. War as peace. People cheer when bombs drop in the name of freedom. The Cipherracket exposes this contradiction. Killing to protect life is insanity, but it's framed as noble. Work as slavery. Millions wake up daily drained and depressed, working jobs they despise just to survive. They call it success or duty. The Cipherracket reveals this is indentured servitude in a polished suit. Food as poison. Shelves overflow with brightly packaged toxins, processed food, dyes, chemicals. People feed this to themselves and their children. Then they act shocked at rising diseases. The Cipherracket decodes insanity is mass marketed as convenience. Debt as wealth. We celebrate people owning homes, cars, and degrees while drowning in debt. The racket is clear. Ownership without freedom is another form of chains. News as truth. The nightly broadcast spins fear, division, and lies, yet people take it as gospel. The Cipherracket cracks it open. Insanity is letting the deceiver define reality. Faith as blindness. Religion was meant to free souls, but dogma is used to cage them. The Cipherracket exposes the golden cage. People worship the prison, not the light. Entertainment as distraction. Sports, gossip, celebrity drama, endless noise to drown out critical thought. The Cipherracket unmasks it. Bread and circuses have replaced wisdom. Comfort as chains. People cling to routines, comfort foods, and familiar lies. The Cipherracket shows the paradox. The more comfortable you become, the less free you truly are. Insanity as sanity. Society labels truth seekers as crazy because they break illusions. The Cipherracket clarifies. It's sane to question insanity, insane to worship it. The racket, the shared illusions of sanity. The racket is the loud, relentless, and socially enforced narrative of what it means to live a normal and successful life. It's the operating system we are all encouraged to run without question. The career racket, the belief that it is sane to sacrifice the majority of your waking hours for 40 to 50 years, often in a state of high stress and low fulfillment in exchange for money. This is presented as responsibility and ambition. The consumption racket, the belief that happiness and status are achieved by accumulating material possessions. We are encouraged to go in debt to buy things we don't need, to fill houses we are never in, because we are always at work. This is presented as the economy and the good life, the information racket, the belief that being constantly bombarded with 24/7 news cycles of fear, outrage, and political drama makes you an informed citizen. This constant state of agitation and powerlessness is presented as staying engaged. The social racket, the belief that curating a perfect digital version of your life and collecting friends and likes is a valid substitute for deep, vulnerable, real world human connection. This is presented as being social. This racket is a collective hypnosis. It requires everyone to pretend that this way of life is working, and it fiercely marginalizes anyone who points out that the emperor has no clothes. The cipher, the quiet, underlining insanity. The cipher is the collection of hidden, simple, and terrifyingly logical truths that the racket is designed to obscure. It is the quiet voice of reason that we are all taught to ignore. The time cipher. The hidden truth is that your time is your life. It is a limited, non renewable resource. The system persuades you to trade the vast majority of this priceless resource for things that do not bring you lasting joy or meaning. This is, by any logical standard, an insane transaction. The health cipher. The hidden truth is that the modern diet is a primary driver of chronic disease, and the modern work culture is a primary driver of chronic stress. The system makes us sick and then sells us the cure or treatment. It is an insane self perpetuating loop of manufactured illness and profitable symptom management. The connection cipher. The hidden truth is that humans are social, tribal animals who are biologically wired for deep, in person community. The current system actively isolates us, leading to epidemic levels of loneliness, depression, and anxiety. We are living in a way that is a direct contradiction to our own hardware, which is insane. The nature cipher. The hidden truth is that we are a part of the natural world, not separate from it. A system that systematically destroys the air, water, and soil upon which its own survival depends is, by definition, insane. It is a self terminating program. In essence, when you point out this insanity, you are not just sharing an opinion, you are presenting people with a devastating choice. Acknowledge the insanity and accept the terrifying responsibility of trying to build a sane life in a system that resists it at every turn, or reject your observation, label you as the crazy one, and repeat, no, not repeat, retreat back to the comfort and safety of the collective illusion. Most people choose option 2. It is the path of least resistance. The purpose of the Cipherracket in this context is not necessarily to convince others what's right and what's wrong. It is to give you the clarity and the framework to validate your own observations, to understand the forces at play, and to begin the difficult but essential work of quietly opting out of the racket and living in ordinance with the sane, simple truths of the cipher. Enlightened questions to test if you're living in insanity, comfort, or truth. Do I cling to beliefs because they feel safe, even if evidence suggests otherwise? Noise or silence? Do I avoid silence because I fear what I might discover about myself in it? Repetition or awareness? Am I living the same day over and over, making mistaking routine for life? A escapism or reality? Do I consume distractions, TV, social media, substances more than I question reality? Choice or conditioning? Are my decisions truly mine? Or are they programmed by culture, family, or media? Fear or freedom? Do I let fear decide what I do, where I go, and who I trust? Anger or understanding? When confronted with uncomfortable truths, do I get angry instead of curious? Masks or authenticity? Do I wear roles? Worker, friend, believer, patriot, without knowing who I am underneath them? Denial or acceptance? Do I reject uncomfortable realities because they would force me to change? Sleepwalking or waking? Am I just surviving day to day, or am I awake, aware, and actively choosing my path? Crowd or self? Do I believe something is true simply because everyone else believes it? Flow or control? Am I obsessed with controlling life while life itself keeps slipping through my hands? The Cipherracket teaches us that insanity isn't just wild madness. It's the quiet acceptance of lies as truth and noise as reality. Most people live in it, defend it, and call it normal. Escaping the insanity. See the noise for what it is. Insanity hides in the racket. When you strip away the racket, you hear silence, and silence is the beginning of clarity. Decrypt the patterns. Insanity thrives on repetition. The same lies told so often they become truth. Ask, who benefits me from believing this? If you can trace the benefit, you've revealed the cipher. Flip the mirror. Insanity convinces you The problem is out there. What racket am I feeding within myself? Anger, denial, fear, envy. By exposing your racket, the outside noise loses its power over you. Distinguish safety from freedom. Insanity sells safety, cages, systems, rules, while keeping you imprisoned. Freedom feels risky because it forces you to walk without borders. The Cipherracket shines light on the cage, making it harder to mistake safety for freedom. Choose silence over madness. Insanity hates silence because silence exposes its emptiness. The Cipherracket teaches you to be still, to let the hidden racket unravel without reacting. In silence, you stop feeding the illusion, and illusions starve without attention. Transform deception into insight. Every lie carries its opposite truth. Every racket has a cipher to crack. The cipher racket doesn't destroy deception, it uses it as fuel to find enlightenment. When you expose a racket, you turn noise into knowledge and forge chains into keys. Live awake, not asleep. Escaping insanity isn't about leaving society, it's about no longer sleepwalking through it. You still hear noise, but you don't mistake it for reality. You play the game, but you know it's a game. In short, to escape insanity with the cipher racket is to see through the racket, decode its cipher, and transform deception into awakening. The insanity we call normal. We live in a circus, a stage of disguise, where truth is buried beneath endless lies. The crowd cheers loud while asleep in their trance, believing they're free, though enslaved in the dance. The rulers sell chaos and call it control. They fracture the body and shatter the soul. We chase what they market, consume what they feed, yet starve of wisdom we truly need. Insanity whispers, this life is just fine. Stay blind to the racket. Ignore every sign. But silence is waiting beyond all the noise. A cipher decoded. A luminous poise. The cipher racket cracks open the scheme, revealing the nightmare disguised as a dream. It shines through the darkness, a lens made of light, exposing the wrong and restoring the right. The way out is simple, though hidden in plain. Detach from the madness, step out of the chain. Ask, who profits from keeping me blind? Then turn from the racket and free your own mind. For the key to escape is not out but within, to face the deception, to peel off the skin And once you awaken, the spell fades away, insanity crumbles, and truth lights the way. Today's topic about the insanity we call normal is because this needs to be exposed in this deceitful world we are living in. We live inside an illusion so deep that we call it reality. We call it normal. But normal has become the mask that insanity wears to feel safe. We worship chaos and call it freedom. We glorify greed and call it success. We destroy nature and call it progress. We numb our pain and call it happiness. We follow lies and call it loyalty. We worship celebrities and politicians and call it leadership. We drown in information and call it intelligence. We scroll past suffering and call it balance. We defend corruption and call it patriotism. We serve systems that feed our division and then call it unity. The insane are praised for their ambition, while the sane are mocked for their conscience. The destroyers are rewarded while the healers are silenced. We've inverted a reality so deeply that insanity itself has become the enemy. So, what is sanity really? Sanity is awareness, not compliance. It's the ability to question your own beliefs before judging someone else's. It's the courage to admit you've been wrong, even when your ego wants to keep lying. It's seeing truth without distortion, without the filters of fear, pride, or propaganda. Sanity is the quiet strength to feel empathy in a world that glorifies apathy. It's compassion over control, understanding over dominance. It's recognizing that power doesn't make you right, and humility doesn't make you weak. Sanity is remembering what it means to be human. It's not the loudest voice in the room, it's the most honest one. It's seeing through illusion without becoming bitter. It's loving truth enough to stand alone for it. It's living with conscience in a culture that sold its soul for convenience. Sanity is clarity in the storm. It's the light that refuses to join the darkness. It's not perfection, it's presence. It's not control, it's connection. And in a world that worships insanity, to stay sane is to be brave. To live in truth is to be revolutionary. Keep your heart human is to be free. But we've built a society that rewards the fake, glorifies arrogance, and silences truth, then wonders why everything feels hollow. We condemn corruption while participating in it. We complain about lies but defend them when they protect our comfort. We hate manipulation, yet worship the manipulators who entertain us. That's the insanity we call normal, the collective denial we defend like religion. We'd rather argue than think, rather belong to the lie than stand alone in truth. And when someone exposes the hypocrisy, they're labeled crazy, dangerous, or conspiratorial, not because they're wrong, but because they threaten the illusion that keeps everyone asleep. We follow blindly, defend blindly, and believe blindly because seeing clearly requires responsibility, and responsibility demands courage, the courage to admit that maybe we've been wrong, misled, or complicit. The Cipherracket reveals this truth. Insanity thrives where honesty dies. Hypocrisy grows where courage is missing. Normal is just the word society uses to describe collective delusion. True awakening isn't rebellion, it's remembering what sanity actually feels like. It's choosing awareness over obedience, truth over trend, conscience over comfort. But this world doesn't need more followers. It needs more people brave enough to stop defending the lie and start facing the truth. Normal is the mask, truth is the mirror. Don't fight insanity, expose it. Be awake in a world that fears awareness. Be brave because sanity is the new rebellion. In a world addicted to chaos, sanity is resistance. When lies become truth and truth becomes hate speech, staying sane becomes an act of defiance. When comfort replaces conscience and illusion replaces honesty, seeing clearly becomes dangerous. They'll call you crazy for questioning the crowd, arrogant for thinking for yourself, and rebellious for refusing to obey madness. But remember, it takes no courage to follow insanity. It takes courage to face reality. So keep your mind clear, your conscience sharp, and your heart uncorrupted. Sanity isn't survival anymore. It's rebellion in its purest form. Thank you for listening. I'll be back soon with more. So again, welcome to the Cipherracket. Welcome to the Renaissance. Welcome to the revolution.